Physicality wins in that division, and Robinson fits.
And again, this is the last first-round choice of a trade that was made 2 years ago. Let's hear who the Rams have selected. Second overall, their first of 2 picks tonight.
With the second pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the St. Louis Rams select Greg Robinson, tackle, Auburn.
5'5", 332 pounds. Mother's Day weekend, wrapping those 35-inch arms around his mom.
I love it.
Isn't that awesome, Michael Irvin?
I love that part of this show, man, on this weekend.
Every time I'm here, it takes me back to my draft and that experience.
Yes.
It's the best reality TV there is.
Yep.
The best.
Yep.
Look at the picture.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A dream's coming true. This is actually, you're watching these guys dream manifest into its physical reality. Every kid started out saying, man, one day I'm going to get an opportunity to play in the NFL. And this kid right now walking that walk saying, boy, this is the reality right now.
Hey, Marshall, take a look at him, okay? First tape I put in, Orlando Pace. That's the first guy I thought about.
Just think about this. If you are a left tackle going to an organization, there's no shortage of advice you can get from Jackie Slater and Orlando Pace. My God. There's a wealth of information on how to be a dominant left tackle in the game of football. Listen, I'm happy for him. And watching him play at Auburn, he's going to fit in with the kind of person that Jackie Slater is and the kind of person that Orlando Pace is, that when those three sit down, when they're at...
He is right now in the toughest division in the NFL.
It's time for him to be welcomed to Primetime, presented by G5 Primetime. Dion?
The number 2 pick in the draft, big fella.
Speechless. It's a blessing to be here. Thanks for St. Louis for giving me this opportunity. I won't let y'all down.
Did you ever doubt it?
No, sir, I didn't. I've always been confident, and I'm confident in my game, and it won't change.
You come a long way from Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
What should we expect from you in the NFL?
My all, 110% of Greg Robinson. Nothing less. Promise you.
Back to you, Rich.
Thanks very much. It's the first time ever a Jeff Fisher team has taken an offensive lineman in the first round. We are taking a break. When we come back, the Jacksonville Jaguars pick. That is Lydia Robinson rocking a new lid.
Get it on Mom.
Welcome back. The Jacksonville Jaguars. That's Dave Caldwell making the selection for Gus Bradley and the rest of the Jacksonville Jaguars contingent. He's on the phone with somebody. The pick is in. Mike Mayock, your thoughts?
Look, I've been all over the Khalil Mack pick here. I was in their building for 12 hours last week watching tape with their coaches. I know them pretty well. If it's not Mack, think about a quarterback whose name is not Johnny Manziel. Okay, and I don't know this for a fact, but I know how they think, and he fits their profile. So if it's not Mack, don't be shocked if Blake Bortles goes right here.
Oh, well, he would be staying in the state of Florida. All right. A little bit of intrigue for the Jacksonville Jaguars fans out there.
Oh, this place is rough.
With the third pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Blake Bortles, quarterback, Central Florida.
Well, there you have it. The first quarterback in this draft selected is not Johnny Manziel. It's not Teddy Bridgewater. It's a young man out of the University of Central Florida who's going to join the AFC South this fall and try and do battle against Andrew Luck and the rest of that division and have to avoid Jadeveon Clowney coming for him twice a season.
I was in their building last week, and Gus and Dave were in Gus's office. They heard me come in. The secretary announced me, and I could hear Gus going, and Dave, we've made up our mind. It's going to be Johnny Manziel. And they had big pictures of him up all over the wall, but it was Blake Bortles the whole time. They believe in this kid. He's 6'5", 232 pounds. He's got a big arm. He reminds me a little bit of a young Ben Roethlisberger. Very strong. He climbs the pocket. Our Hall of Fame quarterback, Kurt Warner, what do you think?
Well, I just say, Mike, I'm a little bit surprised that it was Bortles over Manziel with the first pick. But like you said, I think he's the prototypical pro quarterback. He's a guy that plays the game very well inside the pocket. Like you said, can climb the pocket, can make all the throws, can take some hits. And they've got some work to do in Jacksonville. But I think he's a great piece to build around, and he plays the game the way I believe you have to win in the National Football League. He's got a ways to go, but I think they can grow together as a team.
Prime, take it away.
Hey, this guy's extremely excited, man. Is this a shocker to you?
You know, I don't know. I came in with no expectations. Just happy to be here in New York, and now I'm pumped to go to Jacksonville and compete, and do what I can to be the best I can be.
But when I saw you walk out that draft room, you were smiling from ear to ear. You gave a shout out to one of your homies who's by the stage. So this has to be somewhat of a shock.
Yeah, it's just, it would have been a shock if I was 1 or 150. It's a dream come true, and I'm just so excited.
Congratulations, man. Back to you, Rich.
So Blake Bortles is going to that fan base, that rabid fan base in Jacksonville. There's a lot of Jacksonville fans that are here as well. And the Buffalo Bills have just struck a trade for the number 4 overall pick with the Cleveland Browns. As you saw the Jacksonville War Room clapping for their pick. So that mandates us to sort of stop our discussion about Blake Bortles and turn to you, Mike Mayock, and say, who do you think the Buffalo Bills would be hopping up 5 spots to go take? Could this be Khalil Mack going to Buffalo?
If it's not Khalil Mack.
He's pretty darn athletic for a 6'5" size. We didn't know he'd go this early, but we certainly thought he'd be in the top 10. I'm happy for Blake Bortles, and I know Jacksonville is too.
And it's a big day for him, and we're all happy for him because it's a big day for all of these kids. But I tell you, you better get some help around that kid pretty quickly.
That's it right there.
You got Justin Blackman, who they are on record saying they don't know if he will be available to the Jacksonville Jaguars this season. So, all right now, we've been talking all year about the quality of wide receivers in this draft, in the depth of the quality of wide receivers in this draft. Well, they better go and find a few to help this kid, or this can be a long process.
Maurice Jones-Drew,
right?
You better put some pieces around this kid, or we've seen it in our league before.
Here's the beauty. He doesn't have to play day one, and I believe he needs a red shirt year. Even at the 3rd pick, Chad Henne's going to start the season, I believe, as the quarterback for Jacksonville.
The trade details, if I may, because the picks about to be in, are in. Buffalo, to move up 5 spots, gave up their number 1 in next year's draft. Whoa. And the 109th pick overall in this year's draft, with also the 9th overall pick. So Cleveland has dropped down from 4 to 9, got a first rounder in next year's draft, which means it'll be 2 straight years in a row for them with 2 first-round picks, and a 4th rounder, and then next year's draft as well. Here's Commissioner Goodell.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the 4th pick to the Buffalo Bills. With the 4th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Sammy Watkins, wide receiver, Clemson.
Well, that's what Michael Irvin and I just talked about. You've got a young quarterback in E.J. Manuel. First-round pick a year ago, very talented kid. So now what do they want to do? They want to surround him with a weapon. And, Michael, what they got was, in my opinion, the premier wide receiver in this draft.
Yeah, speed. He can get it in returns. And what's great about this pick, when you got a guy like Sammy Watkins, the explosiveness that he brings, hey, I can wait, because I still think he has to develop some things on a pro level, but he's so quick, Rich. Guys, you can throw him hitches, quick screens, let him take it the distance, and that'll help E.J. Manuel, the young quarterback.
Versatile guy. He's big and strong. He could be a running back if you asked him to be. He could be a return guy. Throw him the bubble screen. Like you said, Mike, he's the most dynamic player at wide receiver in this year's draft in my mind. And boy, they got a steal right there. Buffalo Bills with Sammy Watkins.
And they needed an everyday guy.
You basically said to the New England Patriots, if we can't stop you, we're going to try to outscore you. Yep. And that's what they're taking that approach.
Remember last year they took Robert Woods in the second round at wide receiver. They've got Stevie Johnson. So they're surrounding that young man with a ton of weapons and said, we are going to support you.
And don't forget Spiller sitting in the backfield as well. They've got some guys who can run the ball, and Fred Jackson. They're building something in Buffalo and Western New York. E.J. Manuel, the quarterback there for the Doug Marrone coach team. You saw Russ Brandon, the president of the Bills, was cheering and pumping his fists for Sammy Watkins, who I believe is taking a selfie. If I'm not mistaken, that is exactly what is going down.
Right.
Godelphi is what it's called. That's the nickname. That's the new nickname.
I went to St. Louis and we took
Buffalo. A Florida boy going to Buffalo.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I thought they was messing with me when they said they was going to pick me, but they trusted me, they believed him, and now it's time to start playing.
You excited about playing with E.J. Manuel?
Yes, sir. I mean, he's a great quarterback. I played against him. They beat us pretty bad, but I respect him, and I'm ready to get to working with him.
You know you are the highest draft pick ever from Fort Myers, Florida.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. Just to see you get from there. I looked up to you all my years and tried to be hungry and dedicated, and now look where I'm at now.
Oh, you got the number. Call me if you need me. I'm proud of you, baby.
Yes, sir.
Much went as we expected, and to Jacksonville at number 3. Charlie, I believe he was your highest-rated quarterback on the board. What do you make of the selection of Blake Bortles?
I think it's a classic case of taking a quarterback because of need. Coach going into his second year, I don't have a quarterback to develop. Who's the best quarterback on the board? We're going to take it. Blake Bortles is not the third best player. So this is clearly a developmental pick. Henny will start. And it's an example of you like this guy and you're banking on your ability to develop him and him come through. So these things are about a 50-50 shot when they succeed. I do like Bortles. What I like about him, I like his athletic ability, his size, his arm strength, his mobility. I've seen this guy make big-time throws. What I haven't seen is consistency and accuracy and decision-making. Now, can he get over the hump with experience? We'll see.
And the other thing that he does have, Charlie, is he has some poise, which is probably the toughest thing to be able to identify in a quarterback. And if you have poise, you have a chance. And he can make all the throws. You can see all that. I think what Charlie said is 100% right on the money. Is he the best player? Is he the third best player in this draft? No. Is he the best quarterback available in this draft? Probably was.
You look at the Jaguars, they won 4 games last year. Is this a case of we don't anticipate making the postseason this year or the Super Bowl? We have time to develop Blake Bortles. He's our quarterback. Or is this a situation where they have to rush him out there because he was picked so high?
Well, I don't think they're going to rush him out there. And talking to them, they were very comfortable with playing Henny. So, no, this is getting their quarterback set to go forward.
Okay, I'm going to jump in there, Charlie. We're going to go to the lectern here. Commissioner Goodell with the Oakland Raiders selection.
With the 5th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Khalil Mack.
Nice pick.
Linebacker, Buffalo.
So they get the pass rusher.
Nice.
Khalil Mack, you see there, 6'2", 251-pound linebacker, super athletic out of Buffalo. A lot of concerns about the level of competition that he faced in the MAC, but certainly going through the draft process, Matt, he proved himself, acquitted himself nicely.
Yeah, and so what you can do when you're going with a guy who is not going up against great competition week in and week out, what does he bring to the table each and every week? Does he bring in intensity? Does he bring his athletic skills? Does he, when he's going against a better player? Like the Ohio State game, does he rise to the occasion? The answer in all those things is yes. And so he did everything he was supposed to do. The competition will be different when he goes to the next level. But he showed at the Combine, he showed with his athleticism, his workouts, he can do all those things. I think this is a good pick for Reggie McKenzie. I think it's a good pick for the Raiders. They need a pass rush. This guy will fit the bill.
Absolutely, and which you could go, you've got Woodley and Tuck, so when you go to nickel, you move Tuck inside, and you got Woodley outside. We don't know what he's got left, but obviously this guy's got a lot left. He was a fascinating player to watch because the guy was really a good football player, and as Matt pointed out, level of competition, he played about 4 games all year where he played, better people, okay, than he was playing the rest of the year. But he did what he had to do at that level. So I'm kind of excited to see how he does at the NFL now when he's playing good players every week. I'll be surprised if he doesn't have a terrific NFL career.